I want to say these words as delicately as I can, but I need to talk about this with you. The Pope, as you may have heard, recently made some comments against people who manufacture weapons, allegedly saying that how can they even be Christians, or talking about them being hypocrites. I searched for the actual text and have not been able to find it. And if I do find it, I will look at the transcript. And if I need to correct anything that I'm saying, I'll do it. And one thing I have noticed is that Pope Francis is taken out of context pretty frequently. And then if you look at the entire context of what he said, the way the press is reporting it is not what he meant. That has happened. But he's also said things that he's had to apologize for, like his comments about families breeding like rabbits. He had to just completely, publicly apologize, which was good that he did. It was very bad that he said what he said. I think that he lacks a little bit of media savvy. John Paul II was a media genius, and Benedict XVI did not do much with the media. And I think Pope Francis, who has made himself so available, he's so affable, he's so conversational, that he just doesn't have a great grasp of the media, or else he does. Or else he does. In other words, in his statement involving arms manufacturing, he also decried the Allies who did not bomb the railroad tracks that were taking people to the concentration camps. And he said, and the quote was, they were killing Jews and Christians and homosexuals. And he lumped those together. Homosexuals is a practice. Jews and Christians is a state of belief and a state of that you're born in. If you're born into a Jewish family, you're born into a Christian family, and then you're circumcised as a Jew, you're baptized as a baby. But homosexual behavior is a behavior. So that made a lot of people go, what? Excuse me? So maybe he does understand. All of that notwithstanding, manufacturing arms. What keeps us, what keeps the West, what has kept the West from being overrun by Islam? Weapons and men who know how to use them. That's it. If you cannot speak Arabic and you are not a Muslim, you have weapons to thank for it. At Vienna twice, at Lepanto, the poor Greeks were occupied for almost 400 years in a brutal occupation by the Muslims, and then with weapons drove the Muslims out. The Iberian Peninsula, Spain, was overrun. The Muslims made it all the way into Tours, France in the 700s and were driven out by men with weapons. And what keeps us from being overrun by Islam is that we have weapons. And what stands in the way of U.S. citizens being overrun by this godless government is the fact that we are the most armed citizenry in the world, except for probably Switzerland. So I cannot comment on the hypocrisy or the Christianity of people who manufacture weapons. But I can comment on the fact that the use of weapons for centuries has been central to the protection of Christianity and the protection of individuals. Yes, I know that monsters inside of the Nazi regime used technology and weapons to bring harm to people. But thank God that there were people on the other side who had beaten their plowshares into swords so that the righteous could be victorious.